moral purpose of Alfredo Romero. Alfredo Romero truly does have a surplus of courage, a true courage that inspires those around him to help protect Venezuelans from disappearing into the procedural abyss of a police state. Alfredo possesses the kind of organizing courage my father believed would lead us to a more just and peaceful world. My father didn't believe it was enough to believe the right thing. You have to do the right thing. Bobby Kennedy's legacy provides the roadmap for Robert F. Kennedy human rights as we work with Alfredo and our other defenders of human rights to make gentle the life of the world. That roadmap traces the long journey of Alfredo Romero and his colleagues as they seek a better world. It marks prisons where they freed the innocent and families made whole through their work, and it traces the miles still to go towards stability and peace in the lives of Venezuelans. Alfredo, you are a hero, and we are so proud today to present you with the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Award.
Thank you so much for this award to Kerry Kennedy, President of Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights, members of the Kennedy family present here today, the members of the Board of Directors of Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights, Secretary General Luis Almagro, our distinguished Master of Ceremonies, journalist Maria Hinojosa, Congressman Joseph Kennedy III and his Davy Hoyer, representatives of the diplomatic community and civil society, mis hermanos venezolanos, aquí presentes, my fellow Venezuelans here and those that are watching us through Periscope. Ladies and gentlemen, people say that speeches in English often start with a joke. But however, this one I will start with a story that at least make one person smile. Ephraim is one of almost 12,000 political former and present detainees arrested in Venezuela since 2014. He became a political prisoner without committing a crime, just because he thought differently. Ephraim was tortured. He was subjected to electric shocks and beaten. He said his jailers tied his hands behind his back and suspended him by a rope attached to his wrist. They dislocated his shoulders. For 2 months, he was kept in an overcrowded cell with no room to lie down. He was only able to stand up and kneel down. That caused, of course, multiple blood clots in his right leg. He got hepatitis A and B. After more than 3 years in jail, his health condition deteriorated to the point that he was dying. The first time I visited Ephraim at the prison center about 1 hour from Caracas was on September 29, 2016. Efrain smiled when he looked at me getting into that place. He hugged me, even though it was the first time that I have met him. We talked for about 20 minutes. I work every day with Mariana, his sister, and his lawyer for Efrain's freedom. We developed social media campaigns, filed petitions before the international entities, and so on. One day, I received a phone call from Mrs. Ethel Kennedy and from Harry Kennedy. I was surprised and honored when I was told that I would be the 2017 recipient of the Robert F. Kennedy Memorial Award. I met Carrie in New York. Later on, I told her about it. Carrie introduced me to the Nobel Peace Prize winner, Muhammad Yunus. And he took a picture showing a written notice requesting Efrain's release. After a week, on October 6, 2017, Efrain was released. He was incarcerated for 3 years, 2 months, 12 days, and 19 hours. He always repeats those numbers. Efrain is physically free, but when you see his face without expression, you realize that his mind and spirit are still in prison. I have been asking him to smile, to welcome freedom, to smile to freedom. Today, Efrain is in Venezuela. I'm sure he will smile when he watches this. I'm sure he considers this moment a great moment of hope. A moment, I'm sorry. This is a moment of hope for more than 300 political prisoners still in jail in Venezuela. Former political prisoners, veterans, might also be listening to us. Here, Sister Munira is here with us. Lisbeth, or Mama Liz, as imprisoned students used to call her, was incarcerated in the same place where she used to visit as a human rights activist, actually a volunteer of Orphan. She used to bring medicines, food and water to these young political prisoners. 2 months ago, she was released after 4 months in jail. Jose Luis, Melanie, Vasco, Cesar, Carlos, Aidan, and many others may also be watching this event. They all are just a few of the almost 12,000 political detainees that have been incarcerated since 2014 in Venezuela. Because of what I have called the revolving effect, while some political detainees are released, others are incarcerated. Right now, there are 53 political prisoners. Actually, 342 political prisoners, because they have been there reviews. They are held in dark cells, and they are not able to watch or listen to us today. But their mothers and fathers, wives and husbands, sons and daughters are watching this event. For example, Claire, they call it in Spanish, is the mother of Carlos Julio Velasco, an 18-year-old student. He was arrested in a protest this year. He too is very sick and requires an immediate surgical procedure. Claire only see and hug her son when his jailers allow it. But there are other parents who might also be watching this event right now, but who will never see their sons and daughters anymore. These boys and girls were killed in protests. Ivan is the father of Fabiano Milo, a 17-year-old student who was shot and killed in a protest in Caracas. He's one of over 100 killed this year in political demonstrations. All of them are part of our Foro Penal family. A big family of more than 4,000 people that's still growing every day. It's a shame, really, that we're growing every day. We're happy about it because we have more volunteers. But at the same time, it's a shame. Besides lawyers and volunteers, many of our members are these former victims or their families. So you can see Julio Cesar, for example, the brother of Carlos Julio, working as a volunteer, not only for the release of his brother, he worked as a volunteer for the release of his bed, but also other prisoners. Mariana, Efrain's sister, is her brother's lawyer, but also represents Carlos Julio. Efrain himself meets with families of political prisoners to bring them home. I must share, of course, then this award with my big family of Foro Penal. This is a recognition for all of you. To Mariela, Ramiro, Alonso, and particularly to Gonzalo Quiñón. Besides being a member of the board of directors for Penal, he's my brother, my friend, my compadre. We work pro bono based upon our principles, what we call the 4 C's, in reference to the letters that the following 4 words in Spanish begin with. Constancia, compromiso, convicción, y corazón. Constancia means perseverance. Compromiso means commitment. Convicción means conviction. And corazón means heart. This is the most important one, the last one. But it's not just romantic. We believe that when you do good for others, that same goodness comes back to you. We believe that to be human rights activists is not a sacrifice, actually. This work brings great satisfaction. The best of all is what we call the smile of freedom. Yes, for example, the smile of Efrain or his bed as they walked out of prison some days ago. That smile is energy, it's motivation for me. Robert F. Kennedy said that cruelty is contagious, and its disease knows no bounds of race or nation. That's true, but he also works to fight for it, against it. That is why good people have to work together. We are called to make compassion and goodness a contagious joy for most of the people in the world. Those good ones will join the fight against that cruel disease that RFK spoke of. I have to admit that sometimes I got tired. I have to admit that sometimes I thought of giving up. But then I talked to a mother of political prisoners like Claire, the mother of Carlos Julio, and I feel the need to help them. I realized that I'm addicted to helping people. I'm addicted to the smile of freedom. I'm addicted to justice, and that is also contagious. Therefore, I'm committed to incorporate more and more people to the addiction of helping people and conquering freedom and justice. You may ask, why did I become a human rights defender? Well, actually, I didn't plan it. No, I didn't imagine. 15 years ago, I decided to help the family of an 18-year-old boy that was shot in the head and killed in a mass protest. But later on, a second family asked for help. Then the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth. And now I've been involved in more than 9,000 cases, almost 10,000 cases, helping victims of repression. Freedom, then, is a daily work. And it cannot be taken for granted, even in countries identified as free countries. You can have freedom today and lose it tomorrow. That happened to us in Venezuela. As I said, I received great satisfaction, and the greatest one is my family. My natural father. My wife, Luisa, who's here today along with my sons, Alfredo and Francisco. I have to thank them for accompanying me in this quest for freedom and justice. Today, to them, I dedicate this song to my sisters. In 2003, I composed a song which has become the anthem of my NGO for Penal. In a matter of words, it says that something like that freedom is daily work, and that it takes a lifetime to fight for freedom in one's country. Of course, in my case, Venezuela. But he says something like that. Probably says it. Cuesta toda la vida una Venezuela nuestra, un pueblo liberal que respire grandeza. Cuesta toda la vida una Venezuela nuestra, el cielo azul de diciembre, con la sonrisa de mi gente. Cuesta toda la vida, cuesta toda la vida, cuesta toda la vida. Vivir en libertad por una Venezuela nuestra, Venezuela nuestra, Venezuela nuestra, en libertad, en libertad.